I'm Reverend Sheffield. Welcome to No Fluff, No Stuff. It's sure enough, No Fluff, No Stuff. I'm Reverend Sheffield. We got a great cast of characters here. We keep it real. I mean, we're not engaging in social conventions. We don't care what we say and don't care how you feel about it because this is how we think and what we feel. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence. We're given subjects to talk about and prepare for the show. I'm going to take it in a slightly different direction. And Stephanie and I were talking about how AI now can actually, create you a man. You can get an artificial man.
Yes.
Sit at the table, eat dinner with you.
Yes.
Go in the bedroom. He ain't able to have sex with you.
No, you going too far. I didn't read that part.
But he can talk to you while you use your homegrown devices.
Now, I don't know about that part, but they said that the studies showed that because of lack of time to actually invest in a relationship and then the lack of emotional intelligence, people are finding it harder to connect.
So here's the thing. So you already had a fake man. So now you get rid of the fake and get a fake man, right?
Yeah, but they say who's really buying into it is the men. The men are creating these AI for women.
Oh, well, they already have those. They call them dolls and dummies.
Oh, my God. Well,
and you know what? By the way, and you know what men love those kind of dolls, blow-up dolls? The men who don't want to hear a woman say nothing.
Oh, Lord.
And by the way, men who like women to stay in their place.
Which is a mess. Lord. And you see why the world is crumbling.
Speaking of AI, AI is taking over a lot.
I thought we were talking about AI.
Well, we are.
And the AI is taking over the world.
It is.
Right. The next thing will be artificial children.
Absolutely, which they already have.
AI kids.
Well, but there's more to AI than just relationships.
Absolutely, and that's where I was going. But
come on.
Rev up here
what you got to say.
He threw you off. He threw you off.
I'm listening.
I mean, so we already got YouTube University.
Which I love, by the way.
What is YouTube University?
Where you can go and learn a lot without having
so you just pull
education.
up. I do that all the time.
Yeah. That's just a term we call it.
I don't mean to tell you, I had issues with my Bentley, my brand new Bentley. Mm-hmm. I kept calling the dealerships. I said, let me just pull this up on YouTube. And there's all kind of YouTubes, you know?
Yeah, and it's saving you money from the cost of college, perhaps. And employers are saving money when they're now using AI instead of actual human beings. So when you got the advancement of technology and AI, what does that do for those who aspire to go to college or now feel like they can enter the workforce without needing it?
Yeah, well, college has gotten too expensive. When I went to Wayne State, when I came out of high school, my tuition for 16 credits a quarter was $226.50. I could go for a whole year for $900.
Oh, wow.
It's not that now. I mean, and then the other thing is that most people getting degrees don't even work in those areas. Mm-hmm. It doesn't facilitate more pay. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Well,
the only people I care about getting a degree and knowing their area of expertise, especially if you're going to be a doctor or nurse working on my body.
Yeah,
you better have went to school. Maybe if you're I don't know, but other than that,
a urologist. You want a doctor that really knows about that thing.
The medical field, absolutely. But employers, everybody
you don't want a plumber when you're leaking up.
Trying to unclog you.
But everybody is trying to save money, and I feel like advancement of technology is really.
Can I say one thing real quick? Mm-hmm. This has been my pet peeve about higher education. Mm-hmm. Higher is the right word because the cost keeps going higher and higher. Mm-hmm. But those institutions really are there to self-perpetuate themselves. So they create the illusion that you need those degrees that they give you. And they're really basically creating jobs for folks who, to me, in many instances, wouldn't have anything else to do if they didn't have a classroom sit and tell us folks what they. I mean, am I making sense? Am I just absolutely crazy?
No, I understand what you're saying. But
I agree with the specialized stuff that you really need to have expertise in. But the rest of it, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, so I am a very huge advocate of education. I'm very big on higher education.
But,
I think this
but what is education?
Well, so
I'm not talking about formal education because my grandparents had a 4th grade education, read better than college degree students now. And the education for them was about having the freedom to know stuff for themselves. But I just want to put that out there.
Well, so I think that's the thing. I think the issue that people are having with education is not receiving the education or earning the degree, it's the cost. It's
Yeah.
how much it costs. So I think we have to separate the importance of education and how much it costs, because those are two separate issues, and I think we're bundling that into one. And I feel like for me with education, sometimes it's not about going to school to, I think it's a part of it to get a job and to, try to reach further, and education can definitely help you with that. But for me, I enjoy learning. And I think one thing you can't steal from me is what my mind. You can't take
That's
what
good.
I know.
Isn't part
That's
of
good.
learning every single day?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between intelligence and wisdom.
Well,
We're talking about intelligence. Intelligence is something that you earn. It's educational based.
There's a
as
difference
well.
between knowledge and education too.
Yeah,
That
but is
too,
there,
but I'm
how
talking
much of
about
a cost does that
intelligence.
come with? Like, you can definitely learn something new every day and not have to go to college for it.
But I think that also, you can learn things new every day. Sure, I can learn how to cook crack, but that doesn't mean that it's going to land me in a great place.
So-
I can learn how to.
Well,
you can
what
learn
does
how
that
to
say-
do things. You can learn how to do things that are not necessarily beneficial for you. So I don't think the topic is not how you can learn. I mean, we can learn doing different things. I think that trade school is great.
Yeah.
I think
Skilled
because you're
trades
still
are
learning
absolutely
something.
essential.
It's a
Yeah.
skill set that you're
But
learning.
right now, the data suggests that employers are doing away with their hiring practices of who they're looking for in the ideal candidate, and right now is no longer in many different fields. Oh, we're only looking for the college degree person. We're looking for the one who
Experience.
has experience, because quite frankly, the degree that you went to school for, by the time the employer is set to hire, with the advancement of technology in different industries, but what you learned in college has now changed. They're going to
So
train
y'all
you
missing
for
what I
they're
said.
going to
Higher
train-
education.
They're going to have to train you for it anyway.
Higher
Yeah.
education is economy. These institutions exist to perpetuate themselves, and they build wealth. Look at the endowments of some of these colleges and universities, right? So there was a time that there was a direct correlation between education and occupation. That's not true today. And you mentioned YouTube University. People acquire knowledge and are gifted in areas will never have to sit in the classroom. They can teach themselves because the technology is out here. I just think, quite frankly, that people get themselves in great debt. They think that, because they got a formal piece of paper that somehow entitles them to, jobs. It's changing, man. It's just changing. I mean, I think, you ought to see what your gift is.
Yeah.
You ought to find how to buttress that gift. Because if a man can build a better mousetrap, write a better book, preach a better sermon, even if this is the most desolate part of the world, mankind will make a beaten path to his door. If you good at what you do, I don't care if you got a JD or no D.
But I think
People will pay you.
But I think that that's true. But I think, again, going to college is about more than just receiving the degree itself. It's about, I believe,
By
I'm
having
in
them
this.
pretty girls sleep over, smoking some weed.
No.
No.
But I think
Joining
that's a
the
part of
frat,
it. But
building relationships and
being
networking.
that's what I was getting at,
But you
because
can
I
also
feel
network
like
outside of college,
you
too.
can. But how much harder is it? How much harder is it? The rooms that I've gotten in today, I graduated in 2020. I now work in Detroit, in the Detroit area, and this is not an easy market to break into in our field. It's not, especially if you're going the corporate route. I was able to get a job straight out of college in this market. Why? Not because of necessarily my education helped me get through the door, for sure, but it's about who I knew. And how did I get to know these people and get to the place where I am today? The network that I built while I was in college, because your college is about being where you're like-minded
Lacey,
with
you're
people.
different.
Why you say that?
I'm just saying. I mean, first of all, let me tell you something. If you never went to college, your personality alone would open doors for you.
Oh, that's definitely a part of it.
And so the
100%.
question is, do you think
100%.
do you think you could know what you know without having gone to college?
Not
Some things,
necessarily.
not all things.
You don't think
Some
you
things,
could?
not all things.
Not all things.
Let me say this. I know people who didn't go to college who put themselves in the rooms because of the relationship that they built and the network
For
that
sure.
they built, that they were able to achieve and build these skill sets and build
But
relationships
how much
without having
harder
gone to
was
school.
that, though? That's my question.
I don't think
How-
I don't think
how-
you have to be in college in order to build
I
relationships.
think-
I
and
didn't say you
network.
have to
I
go
think
to college.
college
I
and
said
degrees-
that it opens up more doors than just education.
I think what it
It's-
does.
Not
I
in
mean, 'cause
today's
I think college is a
society,
way
I
to
disagree.
further separate and eliminate.
Say it again, Rev.
I think it's just another way that I can tell you, no, you can't get in, you can't have it. it separates and eliminates people.
But I think that we all need to.
Don't we
agree-
know people with many degrees are the fools?
Or don't make
Don't know a
don't make
damn
enough
thing.
or don't make a lot of money in their field. So that's why I'm an advocate for not just college, but furthering your education. So whether that's you reading more books, you finding you a mentor. If you find you
Absolutely.
a mentor, you can elevate 10 times more just because now you gain the wealth and experience, like you're saying, from that person who has a lived experience who now you can put it into motion.
Which is what employers are looking for as well.
Correct.
They're looking for the person who has the skill set and experience and whatever they may lack that employer will train you for, because
Well, I
in
don't-
today's market, college degrees.
So skill
So
trade
why don't
certificates.
They're
we're
still
speaking
good.
about artificial intelligence. We started out right?
Right.
So, if I had to live all over again, because I've been in schools for many, many years, I'm going to create a fake me and let my AI go to school and take all the tests.
No, I mean that's the discrepancies that they're having now, is because now they're going through your papers and saying, hey, well, you're not going to be able to turn this in because that's AI, and that's one of the bigger
Look
challenges
at the
that
woman
they're
from
having.
Harvard. I mean, when you're at that level, all the stuff
Exactly.
you write, there's no way. When you expose the
Talking about the former
literature and
president,
information,
Yes.
that
Yes.
you're not going
saying it's
to
plagiarism.
you're not going to be able to in every instance decipher whether or not this is from you or it came from somewhere else.
Correct.
So
And
if
it's
you
getting
had to-
harder and harder now.
I'm sorry. So I just want to know. So if you had to do it all over again, Rev, would you still go to school, knowing what you know today?
Well, if I had to do it all over and I had the same parents and grandparents, yes, I would go to school. My grandparents walked miles for a fourth grade education. Their sense of an education was something that gave you independence and freedom.
Yeah.
Allow you to be, able to access and do things. I think the difference has changed. I think it's changed a little bit today. I do think, and I haven't done the research. I mean, there was a point where they said that you're more likely to earn more money with a college degree, but with the technical stuff that's out here now, people are able to make a lot of money not having gone to college, but acquiring, vocational and occupational certification.
There's just
But your
certain
answer is
fields.
yes. I'd go to school because I went to school to learn, to expand my horizons, to feel
Yep.
better about myself, knowing things, being able to
Right.
articulate things,
Right.
and understand things.
And I
Because if
think-
you
and
got
I
the
think that-
knowledge,
and I
you got
think
the
that-
upper
I think-
hand.
I think that point exists for certain people in certain communities at certain different points in time. I think when we look at today's society and today's economy and where we have transition in so many different fields because of the advancement of technology, I just don't think that same method applies when if you ask if a young person asks me, is it worth going to college to major in radio and television today? I would not advise that young individual to.
So you wouldn't send them to Specs
pursue-
Howard, huh?
I wouldn't
Well,
advise.
Specs Howard is really different than a university, though. So I
When
would
I,
advise.
when I was coming
I have
up to
a
get on the
question.
radio, all you needed was a third-class FCC license. I had one. I was
Yeah.
a DJ.
But that's not a
I
college.
would not. If they're going to major in radio and TV, especially when you look at where the age and where television and radio is today, and the declining audience for it, and the skills that you can obtain without a college degree,
Andre,
I wouldn't have.
Well,
the
no,
You
I have
wouldn't
a
have to worry
question.
about going to college. You wouldn't have to worry about going to college
I wouldn't want to
because
get in college
there's an
debt over
AI
radio and TV.
lookalike out there for both of you all.
Well, no, I have a question,
I
Andre.
wouldn't
So
want to
because
get
we're
into
talking.
big debt over a radio and TV background.
Okay, so
Like,
let's talk. Well, but we're not just talking specifically our field. We're talking in general now.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I'm just making that as
again-
an example.
So okay, so then I have a question. Then you have a child.
Question is
17, 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They're done with school. They've earned their high school diploma. What do they do now?
I think what they do now is that they need
get
to
out the house and get a damn job.
But okay, but doing what though?
I think they need to
What
find.
else?
Like you said, number one, finding
they
your
need to-
purpose.
Finding your
How
purpose.
does a 17, 18
They don't need
year
to
old
find
find
a purpose.
their purpose?
I don't think what their purpose is necessarily means in college is the next step.
So I'm asking,
it's-
what's the next step
Maybe
if
it's
it's not
skilled
college?
trades. Maybe it's traveling and finding what's their niche.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Traveling
is.
and finding what's their niche.
Look, I would.
Other-
I
but
would-
other-
I
but
want-
travel
I
and
want
find
them-
their
I
niche.
want them
Other
to be
cultures believe
supportive.
in that.
I
Other
want-
cultures say that.
I want them.
You gonna fund for your child to travel the world at 17?
If I
18?
Wait a minute,
Yes,
maybe,
if I'm at that
maybe
financial
the
position,
age
I
of
sure would.
12,
I
Maybe
sure
at
would.
the age of 12, they found their gift and their
They
talent.
gonna have to
and-
take their
and there's
little
a
piggy
market
bank and go
for it.
discover America. You better go to school.
Well, the bottom line is you got to do something because if you don't work, you don't eat.
Correct.
And the question
hello.
here is how do we enhance our ability to eat well? I think it really starts with discovering what your gift is. We got a lot of folks that are going for education and doing things, and they don't have the aptitude for it. This is not something, I feel like everybody ought to be called to what they do. I think Lacey's called to her journalism career. I think you're called to your journalism career. I think Stephanie's called to her ministry and her, ability to help promote things. I'm called, to help you understand what you've been called to. I just think there's too much of a cost involved for people to acquire what they need to be able to get paid for it. That's the problem that I have. When I went to college and I could go for a whole year, for $1,000 and get a degree, that's different than to spend $35,000-$40,000 a year.
That's true.
Speaking of which, there's a program available right now where they can enroll in college right now.
Really? Where?
At Wayne County Community College District, and they can enroll right now for a 2-year tuition-free degree.
See, we don't just have these conversations for nothing. We got resources and information
So
available
if
to
those
you.
Why
type
we're
of
encouraging
resources,
them not to go?
well, no, we're encouraging
No,
them.
we encourage you that because
With one exception.
By the way,
Yeah, we encourage them. No,
Only if you apply
no,
for this program.
I think that the general consensus needs to be, if these resources are available to you, you should lay hold of every opportunity that you can to make yourself better.
Yeah, that's different.
If I can make myself better than the next person next to me, and then that means that I have a degree, that means that I have a certificate, that means that I got now some on-the-job experience, that's going to always put me ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And so I think...
so you can go to Wayne County Community College District right now. They've got a couple thousand slots open where you can take any of their 2-year degrees, including nursing. They have a variety of occupational and vocational skilled trade certifications, and I encourage that. I think you need some training. You got to have some training.
some type of formal something. But I think that also goes back to our last episode when we were talking about the importance of voting, when we talk about education, paying attention to who we are putting in office, because that's tied directly to our economy, which is tied directly to who we're putting in office as far as how to regulate it and do things like that. So I just feel like you have to pay attention to things like that, because education, folks, is important. Go to school.
It's very important.
Listen to my voice.
It's very important.
Go to school
until AI takes over your job.
Don't listen to Andre.
Well, somebody's got to change. Somebody's got to train the AI, and that's something that we do need to say. Somebody's got to build the robots. Somebody's got to train. And first of all, do any of you all here at this table have a chat bot?
A chat box?
I do not.
What's a chat
So
box?
so let's start right there. Yeah, so it's called a chat bot. That is your
bot,
chat.
B-O-T.
That's your chat GPT.
It does everything for you.
Yeah, so y'all don't even know nothing about it. Okay, when we come back, we'll get them signed
just
up.
give me a little bit of
Chat
information.
GPT 4, so you should have that downloaded on your app already on your phone. And there are numbers of apps that we use. Matter of fact, we're going to edit some of this show within a Chat GPT. So it's going to edit all this stuff.
So in other words, I can take that and I can pull back stuff that I've said after I find out what the initial reaction is. We talk about cheating, right? And I can edit it so that my wife heard what I want her to hear.
Absolutely. You know what? I can take your face
Right.
and put it on a different body, and people think that is
Really?
you through AI.
Really?
Yes, that's becoming an
AI is
issue.
but here's the thing. My point is that you have to actually train your bot. So you can train your bot to have your language, to have your
So we've gone from
To
training
speak on
butts
your
to
behalf.
training bots.
Yes, you have to train. Yes.
train it all.
Yeah, you got to train
to
it.
have
But so
somebody to do
here
that.
it is. Here
Do you have a bot?
Yeah, I got a chat bot. I got a Chat GPT. I'm on actually
Everybody
4,
will at
and
one
my
point.
chat bot is
And
right
so
there.
I don't understand what this is.
So it's
This
your
is
app.
you in AI form or something?
So you train it. So depending on what
So
you want to say.
You're doing the bot?
Yes. Okay. But like, for instance, social media posts, right? You say, I don't even know what to say about this. You could say, act as a social media influencer and say congratulations on 2024. What would you say? And then you say, no, put a scripture, or no, act like I'm happy today. No, act like I'm sad today. So you got to train it to actually sound like you. But here's the thing. So if you
Well,
if
so
you
much
have
for going to school and all the education when this chat bots can speak for you.
But
and think for
here's
you.
the education. What if you're the one who codes you're the one I'm hiring.
Yeah.
What if you're the one who knows how to go in and set up all of this, to do accounting, to set up to do your classroom
there's training
syllabus and
and
things like that.
Experiencing is very
Experience,
important.
Somebody's
very
gotta
important.
have
And
the
that's what
knowledge.
employers are hiring for too, the experienced person. So that's why they're taking away the college degree requirements.
Certain
So
fields, yes.
All I'll just say, it's a whole new world out there, everybody. And
Welcome.
Thanks so much for watching.